a vacuum cleaner. I actually have 4 here, as you can see, and they actually can be used in different places. I really love my vacuums, and I want to tell you about them and how they work and the different places they're used in and the very special way that I, Professor Wallaby, use them, which is really important, except for, well, one little problem. I'm not really sure how a vacuum works. I'm sorry. I want to tell you, but, well, I just don't know.
Hey, Professor Wallaby. Nice vacuums. Why do you have so many here today?
Well, it's a long story, Mindy, but you see, I have a problem right now. Well, I don't know how these vacuums work, so I can't really talk about them any further than that, because first I have to explain how they work, then I can explain why there are 4 different ones.
Well, would you like me to explain how they work so everyone else could listen and understand?
Okay, yeah, sure.
Okay. Well, a vacuum works with an electric motor. When you turn it on, the motor begins sucking air through a pipe, the same way you suck air through a straw.
Oh, well, I can do that. I do it all the time.
Suck air through a straw?
Yes, it's fun.
Okay. The motor sucks this air through a pipe, and when you put the vacuum head over the dirt, the suction from that air pulls the dirt into the pipe and inside the vacuum. On the other end of the pipe is a bag, so the dirt goes through the pipe and into the bag inside the vacuum. Then you throw the bag away when it's full. It's the same thing as when you're sucking water through a straw.
Oh, I've done that before. I mean, when I'm not sucking air through the straw. In fact, just yesterday, I sucked a whole glass of water through a straw in like 3 seconds. Oh, man, that water went fast. Woohoo! I'll tell you.
Oh, okay, I guess. I don't know if that's such a good idea, but anyway, the same way the water goes through the straw, down your throat, into your tummy, is what happens with the dirt through the pipe and into the vacuum. Then you throw the bag away. Then you put in a new bag.
Well, that sounds good.
Well, it's a good thing. I think it is anyway. Now, I see you have 4 different vacuums here, and they're all used in different places. And I guess you know what those 4 places are, right?
Oh, yes, and that's why I have 4. And since you just explained how a vacuum works, I can now get to the part about the different places that they're used in, and this is why there are different shapes and sizes of vacuums. They can be used on the rug, on the furniture, on drapes, and even in your car if you have one. I don't have a car, actually. I mean, could you picture me driving?
Oh, well.
And now I get to talk about that special way that I, Professor Wallaby, use my vacuums.
How's that?
Well, I like to recycle and use things over and over again.
Well, it's always good to recycle things, even though that's another topic. But still, it is good of you to do.
Well, I like to recycle everything, Mindy, even dirt. And this was why I got all 4 of my vacuums out here today, so I can explain how I get to use all 4 of them and vacuum up the dirt in my home. Yay!
What are you talking about, Professor Wallaby? We already talked about how to use them and where they're used.
Well, I said I have 4 vacuums, and I like using them all, but I don't really have a lot of dirt in my house, so this way, by recycling the dirt, there's enough to go around, and I get to use all 4 of my vacuums. Yay! Oh, yay!
What are you talking about? I don't understand what you mean.
Well, okay, first I use the big upright vacuum, and I vacuum the rug. Then I take out the bag and dump the dirt onto my furniture.
That's wrong.
Okay, then I take the electric broom vacuum, and I vacuum it up from there. But then I take the bag out of the vacuum and dump the dirt on my drapes. And I take the caster vacuum, okay, and vacuum it up from there. Then I take the bag out of that vacuum, and I find somebody's car, okay, and I dump it in there, and then the whole thing starts all over again. And I get the upright vacuum, and I vacuum up that dirt, and I dump it all over my furniture. And I take the electric broom vacuum, and I vacuum it up from there. But then I take the bag out of that vacuum and dump the dirt on my drapes. And then I take the caster vacuum, okay, and I vacuum it up from there. Then I take the bag out.
And we're back at the desk here on Now We're Talking. Let's see, we're talking about inventions today. So far we've seen a CD player, a vacuum, and we've seen a brand new invention from our friend Angelica called the detachable mailbox. Now you remember Christiana, who was talking about a CD player with our friend Mindy? Well, we got her coming up next talking about her new invention called the switcheroo hat. So, you hear that? Sounds like snoring. I think it's coming from underneath the desk. Oh my God, there's a snake down here. Hey. Snake?
Hey, what the heck? Hey, I was asleep back there. What's the reason for waking me? And by the way, the name is Chester.
Well, hi, Chester. We're doing a talk show here, and you were snoring.
A show? What are you kidding me? What show? What do you mean?
It's a talk show called Now We're Talking.
Never heard of it. Ah,
Well, we're pretty new still.
I bet you I still never would have heard of it. Ah.
Well, we're talking with young people who created new inventions, and we're talking with other people who are showing us inventions that are already in use. We're learning about how they work and how they make our lives easier.
Yeah, well, make my life easier, and please let me go back to sleep. I need all the rest I can get at my age. Ah.
Well, you do have this long white beard. Exactly how old are you?
Well, fella, I'll put it to you this way. You know all these inventions that you said everyone's learning about and how they work and make our lives better?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm old enough to remember when all these things like vacuums and blenders and other great things like that were invented.
Whoa, that old? Well, you know, we have an inventor whose invention is so new, I guarantee it'll make you feel young again. So what do you say you hang around and meet our next inventor?
Well, to tell you the truth, Guy, my tail's asleep here, so I guess I'm hanging.
Okay. Well, our next guest is Christiana, and her new invention is called the switcheroo hat. So please welcome Christiana. Christiana, welcome to the show. Good to see you. Thank you for coming.
How you doing there, kid?
So, Christiana, what's this here? You got the hat called this is a switcheroo hat. Am I correct on that?
Switcheroo hat.
Yeah, right. So, what gave you the idea for the switcheroo hat?
Well, I like the Mets and the Yankees, and I didn't know which hat to wear. So I put them together, and then whenever they're on TV, I can wear the Yankees hat in front, and then if I see the Mets, I can wear them, and the Mets can go in the front.
Ah, that's pretty good.
Pretty good stuff there.
That's
you know?
right? Because I'm guessing you live in the New York area, right? And it's kind of tough because you have two teams to root for. Actually, most people, they either have to choose the Yankees or they choose the Mets, and it's usually there's no cross in between, right? But you chose both of them, huh?
That's a pretty neat hat there. I like that. The
Yeah.
switcheroo hat, huh?
How long did it take you
That's
to...
interesting.
Yeah, right? How long did it take you to make that?
About 2 hours.
2 hours, wow.
2 hours.
pretty dedicated, huh?
Are you serious? That only took you 2 hours? That's pretty good, kid. You know what?
Well, it took me 2 hours just to slither up behind your desk here.
That's true.
Somebody interrupted me.
I'm sorry, but we're doing a show. You picked the wrong
she-
place to sleep.
She's a cute kid, so I don't
Yeah.
mind. It's a neat invention, too.
Do you sew a lot? Have you sewn anything before?
Yeah, I sewed it in the back
Yeah.
together.
Yeah? Anybody help you sew that? I mean, sometimes getting the needle and the thread together. No, you do it all by yourself. No mom, no dad, anything like that. Wow, that's pretty cool.
No mom, no dad, no kid.
Yeah, no mom, no dad, no kidding. So show us how it works. Put it on your head and show us how the switcheroo hat does it. So right now, it's like the Yankees are winning, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
and then when the Mets, then I switch it over, and then the Mets show.
Wow. Did you lose a lot of hair during the Subway Series? Constantly just switching back and forth?
You know, the way things are going these days, I bet you don't have to switch it around to the Mets side too much.
Oh, I don't know. You're going to get a lot of bad mail there, Chester.
How about your snakes tries it on?
How about snake tries
You
it
wanna
on?
put that on
Give
my
it a
head?
shot. Put it on Chester
All
here.
right.
Let's see. All right. See, there we go. Now the Mets are winning.
The Mets are
The
winning.
Mets are winning, and we flip it around because we've changed to the Yes channel. And there you go. Now the Yankees are winning, right?
Now the Yankees are winning.
All right. That's
Except,
nice.
You know what? The snake's losing. Sleep.
Snake is losing sleep.
Yeah, I was supposed to be napping, but I'm glad I woke up for your invention, kiddo.
That's right.
Because it's pretty neat, you know that?
Yeah, she did a pretty good job, huh? It's a pretty good idea, too. Christiana, thank you for coming. Thank you for showing us your invention. It's a pretty good job you did with the hat there, right?
Yeah, it was pretty good there, kid. I'm glad I woke up for that one.
Yeah, I'm glad you did, too.
Yeah.
Now, coming up next, Angelica and Michael are going to show us how a blender works. They're going to make a milkshake.
No kidding, really?
Yeah. And then after that, Uncle Will's and Mindy are going to show us how a clock works.
Oh, a clock. huh?
Yeah, a clock, right?
Yeah, well, I'm not too sure about that Will's guy, so they better be careful with what they're doing there, you know?
Yeah.
He could be kind of funny.
You be kind of funny?
All right.
Yeah, that's
Coming from a
true.
wise old snake, I know. Trust me.
Yeah. Well, stay tuned.
Bye.
Hi, I'm Michael, and this is my friend Angelica.